Hello, this week we have 6 games to look at, including Elden Ring. Hello, and welcome to Parents Guide to Games. My name is Stefan. If you could please like, share, and subscribe. Here are the games coming up February 22nd, 2022. The first game on our list is Monarch. This is coming on PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. The rating is teen. The content descriptions: blood, language, suggestive themes, and violence. This is a role-playing game in which players follow the story of a high school student trapped in a school by a magical barrier. Players can interact with other students, solve puzzles, and battle demons in turn-based combat. Players use swords, spears, pistols, cannons, and magic attacks to defeat fantasy creatures. Battles are accompanied by impact sounds, realistic gunfire, explosions, and cries of pain. Cutscenes depict additional acts of violence and blood, an impaled character bleeding to death, blood pooling underneath a character. The game contains suggestive material in the dialogue. Swear words are heard in the game. Now let's take a look at Martha is Dead. This is on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. The rating is mature. The content descriptions: blood and gore, intense violence, partial nudity, sexual themes, and strong language. This is a horror adventure game in which players assume the role of a woman trying to solve the mystery of her twin sister's murder. From a first-person perspective, players explore the Italian countryside in 1944, interact with characters, solve puzzles, and gather clues to the murder. As the narrative progresses, the game depicts surreal, nightmare sequences of intense violence: Gula cutting the face off a corpse and wearing its flesh, Gula's cutting a corpse's stomach open and pulling out a dead fetus, a character slitting her wrists open. One sequence depicts a character shooting a bound woman off screen, then burying the dismembered corpse. The game contains dialogue that references sexual material. During the course of the game, a corpse is depicted with exposed breasts and a tarot card including small drawings of nude women. Swear words are heard in the game. Next up is Alter Sophie 2, The Alchemist of the Mysterious Dream. This is coming on PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC. The rating is teen. The content descriptions: alcoholic references, fantasy violence, and suggestive themes. This is a role-playing game in which players control Sophie, an alchemist searching for her mentor in dream-like world. As the players collect resources for alchemy, they can interact with characters, craft items, and battle various fantasy creatures in turn-based combat. Characters use magic staffs, swords, spears, and occasionally guns to defeat enemies. Some characters wear revealing outfits that expose deep cleavage, and a handful of sequences allow players to wear swimsuits, bikinis in battle. Camera angles also linger on female characters' chests and or pan up their bodies during cutscenes. Characters make subtle references to alcohol in the dialogue. And the last game we have a full description for is Elden Ring. This is on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. The rating is mature. The content descriptions: blood and gore, language, suggestive themes, and violence. This is an action role-playing game in which players assume the role of a character trying to revive a magical ring and become the Elden Lord. From a third-person's perspective, players explore the environments, collect items, and battle various enemies in melee combat. Players use swords, spears, axes, arrows, and magic. Combat is highlighted by cries of pain, splattered blood, and impact sounds. The game includes depictions of gore, a collection of items that include severed fingers and tongues, a boss character cutting off his arm, severed arms hanging from the ceiling. During the course of the game, a humanoid monster is depicted partially nude, with scales/scars covering its breasts and pelvic regions. Swear words appear in the dialogue. Now we're going to take a look at the games that we do not have a description for, and the first is Cresta. This is coming on PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC. And the last game on today's list is Grid Legends, coming on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PC, and the rating is everyone 10 and up. Thank you to bensound.com for the music track. Please follow Parents Guide to Games on YouTube at Parents Guide to Games, on Facebook at Parents Guide to Games, on Twitter at ParentsG2G, and email any questions or concerns at parentsg2g@gmail.com. And always, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.